Okay. Yeah, I think we're starting off Moto Monday talking about llamas and football. That's a good start to Moto Monday.
It's all uphill after now, right?
Yeah, can only get better. But seriously, no, we cannot remember the name of the llama from Napoleon Dynamite, right?
What's its name?
I don't know.
Justin's going to give away a free hat.
We should give something away for the after show. We can check out who will tell us the name of the llama. Was it a llama or alpaca?
I don't know. It was something fluffy.
It was something fluffy.
But the name, he's like, come get your dinner.
It had a name, yes. Anyways, this is Moto Monday number 115 with Makayla Emerson and Reese. What's up, Reese?
Hey.
I think the last time I saw you, we were slightly delirious riding dirt bikes at Riverdale.
Yep.
This is the first time we've seen each other since then.
Been sleeping, dude. Pretty much. Like,
how are you feeling?
good, finally back to normal. But yeah, I wasn't in a big hurry to go practice the next couple days.
Yeah, we'll have to update people maybe a little later on and just how exactly that went on. But unfortunately, Makayla wasn't able to come out.
RV Cup.
That was a bummer thing, is the RV Cup was running at the same weekend. But
there was a couple events, dude.
There was because we have a limited schedule with this whole virus thing going on. It's really messed with the schedules for people. So we have a tight summer schedule. It just happens.
Yeah.
It happens. But how was RV Cup? How'd it go?
Well,
What classes did you ride, Makayla?
I raced women's and then 250C.
Oh, you rode the C class. By the way, do I need to give you like a full intro, or by now do most people know who you are?
People know me.
Okay, at this point, okay. People know who you are. The number 25 in the women's class, who's 18 now, which means probably not much is changing.
No, it's the same stuff.
Same,
Yeah.
Other than you did graduate.
Yeah, my drive-through graduation.
Let's talk about that, actually. Then we'll go back to RV Cup. How was it graduating during lockdown?
Oh, I would honestly recommend like a drive-through graduation way more than sitting in the can't think of what it's called, the assembly room or the gym. I'd rather be doing the drive-through than sitting in the gym for 5 hours.
How does a drive-through work?
So what they did, they pretty much just made a bunch of lanes in our parking lot, and then you just drive through and you could sit outside the car. They told you to decorate your cars, and then all the admin and the board people would go outside and hand you your diploma. And they had photographers everywhere, so it was a lot cooler to grasp on people's
So you didn't
attentions.
mind?
No.
Oh, okay.
I would rather do that than a regular graduation. Like, that was really cool.
Okay. But you didn't get prom this year.
Nope.
That's it. Do you think they'll do like a makeup prom?
No.
You don't think that? I would, if I was to school, man, I would come up with like a,
If they
once
did one
things settle
outside or
down, or
something.
like do something, just because you kind of owe it to seniors to give them a prom. I mean,
Yeah.
it's not really my thing, but you would think they'd do something.
Yeah, and I got lucky because my dress cost a lot of money. And I got lucky because of the whole pandemic. It was coming from Italy. They let me ship it back. So I got my money back, but...
You got your dress from Italy.
I didn't know.
Dude.
It didn't come to my house yet. It was in the mail, and it was like you had to pre-order it.
Dog. Like, no wonder. What kind of big baller are you? Dude, I've seen your
It was my
YZ.
Girls
Senior
take prom
prom.
seriously.
Dude, that's next level.
Even
It was
motocross
a really
girls, they
pretty
take
dress.
prom serious.
It was gorgeous. It was so pretty. But I didn't get to wear it, so I had it in my pictures, staring at it.
Well, I'm sorry. So, had a little different kind of graduation, but wasn't too bad.
was really fun.
And how was RV Cup? Let's go back to that.
Okay, well, RV Cup was actually really fun.
Grays Harbor, right?
Yeah, it was actually really nice. They had their schedule kind of weird though, because they had practice on Friday, and it was a total like laid out schedule for races and practice. But I ended up, I think, having, I want to say I had 2 practices on Friday, and then 2 races on Friday, and then 1 race on Saturday, or 2 races on Saturday. But it was just weird because I don't really want to practice and race the same day because everyone else was so more stretched out. But the women's class, I think our first moto, I don't even remember. I think it was around 10 or so. But it was just so slick, I couldn't keep the bike up. And there was this girl on the back trip while I was deciding to actually hit it, and she crossed in front of me, and I fell off the side of the jump, so that didn't go well. So I got 5th, I think, or 6th. And then the 250 class, I was actually in 3rd. But first lap, I hit the pro double. Second lap, my foot slipped off. And the 3rd lap, I hit it, and my back tire just knocked me over. And so I couldn't finish. And
So you like cased it? Oh.
And I caused my first red flag.
Oh no.
Yeah, I know. That was horrible. I like bit through my lip, hurt my knee, and then cracked my helmet. And it was so embarrassing because I felt so bad. Everyone was like, "You caused the red flag," and I was like, "Well, I didn't mean to. I thought I hit it fast enough."
I don't think anyone means to cause the red flag.
No, I wasn't just wishing like, "All right, let's crash this race." But I ended up finishing, and then I think I went DNF for 9th for a 7th overall in 250 class, which was actually pretty good. And then women's, I think I got 5th overall.
Was it a 2-moto format?
Yep.
Okay. And was it a 2-day event? Or was it a 1-day race?
It was really like, it was 2-day, because I think it was supposed to be a 3-moto format, and then they shortened it to 2.
Because the rain?
I don't know if it was because of the rain or just because how everything was scheduled, but I think it's just better for the 2-moto format. That way they could get through races, because they didn't even finish until I think 3 or 4 on that Sunday. So I think it's just time.
Now is this the first time you've been to RV Cup?
Yeah.
Okay. But overall, I mean, how was the turnout? Decent turnout?
I heard it was like 3 times more than last year.
Oh, decent.
Yeah, because there's some fast people actually came. There's people from California, and I think the farthest was North Dakota or something like that. Like, it was crazy.
Well, a lot of people are cooped up right now.
Yeah,
And there's
people
not a
wanna get
lot of
out.
events. We're just starting to trickle down and have some events. And I think people are just kind of tired of being cooped up.
Oh, yeah.
Their bikes are nice and shiny, like Reese's bike here in the background for people watching. Looks nice and shiny. Good old CR252 stroke.
When you don't ride them, dude, they just sit around. It looks good.
Yeah, everyone has their bikes in their garage and like, maybe I'll get those foot pegs. Yeah, we'll get foot pegs.
New exhaust.
New exhaust. Why not? You know what? We'll take that muffler off. We'll Scotch Brite, and yeah, here we go. You know, and like people have been just sitting, taking care of their bikes, riding a few practices when they can, but they're itching to go do races. And that was cool that they got a good turnout for RV Cup. I wish I would have looked up the numbers before we started the podcast because I was kind of curious, but me and Reese were distracted because we went and tried to go ride dirt bikes for 24 hours straight.
I know, I really wanted to. I felt like it would have been so much fun though. What was it like riding in the dark?
Epic.
Really? Did you have lights or anything?
Well, Reese had way better lights than me. I did not set up my light system very well, and I admit that.
What do you have? Just like a little phone light, just holding it down
Close.
on the ground? Really?
I was running phone batteries to bicycle lights on my helmet.
Why didn't you put them on your number plate or anything?
Well, because I like the helmet lights because they kind of go where you look. The one thing I didn't think about is when you're riding for a long time is the lights will never go exactly where you're looking unless you have a big floodlight. So a lot of times I felt like I was moving my head to adjust to see, have the light go where I want. So my neck was getting cramped because I was moving the light with my head for hours and hours. And I don't know about you, but my neck was like locked up by early morning. Oh, you were mostly running a headlight though.
Yep. Derek was running headlight or light bar and the handlebars and a helmet light. But he said the same thing. He's like, yeah, after a while you feel it. You know, I mean, if you're not used to them, not like, 'cause none of us do off-road night races or like that's not our thing. So
No.
the weight of the helmet light's enough to irritate you, for sure.
Yeah, my problem was I didn't really feel them. You saw mine; they're pretty small. It was the fact that I kept trying to move where the light was going with my head subconsciously, and it wore out my neck muscles. It was kind of weird. I honestly wore out muscles I didn't know I had. By the end of the event, I didn't know I had those many muscles.
Because you don't work out.
Hey,
Hey, I haven't been working out either. We're on quarantine still.
thanks, Makayla. Thanks. I actually have been doing my running, but that really did not prepare me whatsoever for trying to ride for 24 hours.
No.
That did nothing. Honestly, if you think about it, how do you really train for 24 hours?
Just ride, dude. Just
Like, other than
long
trying to
motos,
ride a
man.
lot?
That's it. I mean, you can't really, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you run into problems, things get weird, things get really weird when the lights go out and it's like 3 o'clock in the morning.
Did you see the cats?
No, dude, I didn't like I didn't do what you did, which was like some weird China eBay, like protein, circa creatine mix, whatever the hell it was you were doing over there. But like, yeah, I didn't see cats, but I also didn't go full retard like you did on whatever it was you were doing in your pit. I don't know, man.
Well, dude, the more I thought about it, I think it was just pure exhaustion. I think I had just hit that my body kind of hit that limit. Like,
Where
we're
do you
done.
see cats? Yeah, that's cool, man.
I was convinced I was being chased by a herd of cats because every time I kept looking back, and Porter can attest to this because he was right next to me. He's yelling at me, "What are you doing?" I kept looking behind me, and all the rocks on the track around 5 a.m. look like cats. And I'm convinced there's cats, and like in my mind, I know there's no way. Like, I know he has a bunch. Dan Dale has a bunch of cats at Riverdale. I know that, but not this many, and they're not in a herd.
And they're not chasing me on my pit bike.
And then when I come around a corner and out peeking from the tree was an Oompa Loompa, that's when I knew I was seeing things. Because there ain't no Oompa Loompas at Riverdale.
That's not just exhaustion. That's called like China supplements, bro. Like that, you had a trifecta of stuff going on.
Ask Bobby. Bobby Castile on his, what was he, like hour 20 or something? He started doing the same thing. He started seeing animals in the bushes.
Because there's a lot of bushes on that track, you know what I'm saying?
Well, the arena cross track, which just so happens to be the one where I saw everything, is the upper arena cross track. So
it's even less shrubbery though, dog. That's what I'm saying. It's a.
He's like,
I know, there's like
he was
nothing
telling me
up there.
that he was seeing things, and dude, that guy was running on PBJs and water, and like, no, I think you kind of hit a limit where maybe you're not getting glucose to the brain. Whatever, I don't know, but
instead of wet brain, you got cat brain. It's cool, man. It happens. It happens.
It made it entertaining. But
I'd be freaking out. I'd consider.
well, at least they weren't like armadillos or anything too weird. They're just cats.
Well, yeah, but seeing anything behind you in your
But your motivation to go faster is going to be really good.
Things got weird. Hey, I will say we're going to talk more about this on the after show, but Reese, I give you props, man. Me and Reese went to the very bitter end, putting in laps.
It was
I think
gnarly.
we both hurt from it, but it was good stuff.
Justin called. He goes, gentleman's agreement. We had 30 minutes to go, and he goes, let's be done. You just want to agree right now because you're not going to be able to lap me enough on your big bike to pass me in overall laps. And he's like, are you going to stop? I was like, hell no. And I was like, are you going to stop? He's like, nope. And he's like, dude, I'm seeing Oompa Loompas. I'm done, but I'm not going to stop. And he's like, let's just be done. Like, we're both going to die trying to win something that doesn't exist. Let's just stop. And I was like, all right, you're right. We're shutting her down. Like, it's too much. You've done enough, Tiger. Like, it's good.
Yeah, I think that is enough. So yeah, that's what we did while you were at RV Cup.
Yeah, I was racing.
It was fun.
Dude, I like Gray's Harbor. That track's fun.
Oh, it's so much fun.
Did it get ruddy?
No, it
'Cause
really
it can
didn't
get
get that
super
bad. It
ruddy.
can get super bad. Like,
In a fun way
let's
sometimes.
see.
I will, like sometimes I hate it. There's
think
other times I've been there and it's just like, oh, look at this 3 foot wide, 3 foot deep, right all the way around the outside. Let's click fourth. It's actually kind of cool sometimes.
It was only bad like that in the bark. They put a bunch of bark dust and sand on the track in the back corner before the triple in the back. That part got really rutted, but that was it. Pack West, it got worse than that though.
Man, we haven't been to Grays Harbor in a while, Reese.
I know, dude.
We need to fix that.
It's all the northern tracks like that and the ridge and stuff though. Like during the summer, it just sucks because they're kind of like Mountain View. Like it's really good from when they open till about 11:30. Then it gets blue grooved and hard packed, and it's just kind of one of those. It's never gonna come back. Those tracks are like that where they're really sick. It's almost like a winter track during the summer, but then once the heat comes up, the rocks start coming up, and then you get in the rocks, which is not the end of the world, but I mean, roost hurts. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah, it's kind of funny. It's like from Riverdale north, you start getting rocks.
more and more rocky. Yep.
More and more rocky. The further north you go. Canada, I think, is just throwing all the rocks our way. It has to be.
So they're maple rocks now? Weird
rocks.
flex, dude.
Yeah. Maple rocks, eh?
Yeah, we're done. We're done.
Anyways, so
Canada's a great country. Don't be a dick.
I'm sorry to all the Canadians watching right now or listening. Back to motocross, though. So RV Cup.
I think it was fun.
What else do we got coming up? So you're a Team Thursday Night Motocross rider again. How many years have you been on the team?
This will be the second year.
Second year. So you're in Team Thursday Night Motocross, which is down at PIR, but they don't really know what they're doing. They're opening up for practice this Thursday, I believe. But it's super limited. It's limited to 110 riders, and you can only bring one spectator with you.
Yeah, and if you're over 18, you can't bring anyone. It was something like that, I think.
It's weird kind of rules, and honestly,
dad still.
I'm glad they're at least doing something, but because not only do we have Oregon, which is one of the worst states for lockdowns, they're also in the city of Portland. And it is a city-owned park.
PIR's been
Especially
screwed.
that it's in Portland, though, too. Portland, we're all
PIR's in
over
rough
Portland.
They've
shape.
been, dude, with
It's such an uphill battle.
the road race guys and Thursday Night Motocross, I've gotten to talk to like a couple people behind closed, and it's been, they have been under, like, everybody's been under like a bunch, but they've had the worst. It's bad, dude. Like, I'm surprised they're getting to pull it off as quick as they are, because it's been.
Yeah, I am too. I'm glad they're doing something, but it's going to be a slow go for a while. And it is what it is. So,
Yeah.
with our summer plans completely kind of just thrown in the dumpster, what else do you got planned, really? I mean, other than hoping PIR can get to racing soon, but I mean, you got the RV Cup out of the way.
Probably just training and practicing.
Just a lot of practice, put in
Yeah.
some laps, and hope some more stuff
Like,
opens up.
I honestly don't know if there's going to be a high point at all. I highly doubt it. I think it might just almost be practice, maybe a few races, but
Any other big events you really got your eye on?
Kelly
You
gonna
want
try to get a ticket for Loretta's?
Yeah, I mean, don't forget Loretta's.
Regional- Regionals and
okay,
stuff, like-
so we were normally planning on doing one big race a year. So last year was Loretta's, so we went, and then we were going to go to Mammoth this year, but Mammoth got canceled. And so instead of going to Mammoth, we went to the RV Cup. And so I think, unless I can save up a little bit or talk him into going, maybe the Flying Nationals at the end of this year. But I know I want to at least I want to try and do one more, but it's hard to get down to California. But we just bought a van, so maybe that'll switch things up a little bit.
Two-stroke national at Glen Helen is
Oh.
supposed to be, they're like two-stroke national, the 24-hour Glen Helen, and the world, the W World Vet
24-hour
Championship.
race?
Big events for that aren't like the national or whatever. Those are all supposed to still happen. The two-stroke national would be sick, and you'd kill it in the women's class down there because it's kind of a weird, like the turnout is kind of weird, but it's a rad event. That would be a cool one to do. That's
That'd be
you don't
really
have
fun.
to drive. I mean,
When is that normally in like October?
it's probably gonna be another month and a half if they pull it off. But like that would
That'd
be a
be
cool
really
event,
fun to
and
go
it's
to.
20 hours, 18-hour drive instead of going frickin', you know what I mean?
Yeah, because first we went was Hangtown, but I don't remember. I was asleep the whole time. It wasn't that long though.
Glen Helen from Vancouver is like it's a 2-dayer, dude. Like, cause after 12 hours of driving, you're like, we're getting close to halfway there. Like you're not, you know what I mean? It takes a minute, but
I'd
the
be down
track's
if I had a
sick.
two-stroke.
Dude,
Pit bike.
two-stroke pit. Justin, if you're actually willing to travel to go to a motocross race, which I don't believe because you just always get too busy, I would be like, dude, I'll put you on my 125 or something, like, because it's a sick event.
I think that'd be so much fun. And Glen Helen too.
It's epic. The track is freaking rad.
Glen Helen, yeah, it's kind of a beast, though.
Yeah, I heard it's.
It's an
Like,
eye opener. The first
Pictures don't really do it
time,
justice.
dude, the first time going up those hills, I was like, what in the, like, you want us to go up this?
I remember rolling up to the track. I was like, "This is it? This is Glen Helen?" And I walk up and like, "Yeah, oh boy, this is Glen Helen."
When you're riding it, like coming those downhills, dude, it's like, you're like, okay, my bad.
And that place gets hammered. I showed up. Remember the first time out there, I showed up late in the day, and I'm looking around, like, "You guys ride on this?"
Dude.
Oh, us
That's why
Northwest boys are
California kids are
spoiled.
quick. Yeah.
Well, yeah, California kids are quick for three reasons. One, they have nice weather all year. It's rideable all year. Two, their tracks are actually gnarlier than ours. They don't
Yeah.
get groomed as well. They get
And
feed
so
up,
dry.
hard pack, and they get to
Well,
ride it all the time.
They're open more, and there's more people riding consistently, so you're
Normally
always
they
gonna
have
have those
practice
conditions.
like almost every
Yeah.
day.
And three, dolphins. They have dolphins in California. We don't have dolphins up here.
That's not where I thought you were going.
I know.
Okay, forget the dolphin part.
We have
The first two
whales.
are still.
Occasional great white sighting.
Occasional whales wash up on the ocean. That's it. Well,
Yeah,
these
sometimes
whales-
we blow them up with
depressing.
dynamite.
That's bad. You can't just blow things up.
Did you ever see that video?
No, I don't watch that stuff. It makes me gross.
Well, it's an
Because all
old
things
video,
like
but
that's
they had a
cool.
giant dead whale, and they were trying to figure out how to get rid of
I'm
it.
pretty sure my dad showed me it, and it flew
And
in
remember
the air.
that, Reese?
Dude.
Yes, we're talking about
So
this on
we're-
a Monday.
This ain't the after show. What are we doing right now, man? Like, hold on. We're like going down to Glen Helen, two-stroke national. It was getting good now.
I'm
we're blowing
sorry,
up
the
whales.
Dolphins. My mind went from California
You're still
to
thinking-
Gavin Newsom to Dolphins.
You're still thinking 24-hour pit, but you're still seeing Oompa Loompas and stuff. You haven't even fully come back yet from that ride. Easy,
There's
man.
no guarantees right now. Anyways,
That
they
was
blew up
20
the
viewer
whale
drop right
dynamite.
there. That was a 20 viewer drop right there. You start bringing up blowing up whales, just ratings down the.
So much for Glen Helen.
Yeah. How am I supposed
No,
to come
I like
back
Glen
with that?
Helen.
I'm spitting motocross facts, and you want to bring up blowing up whales, dude.
It's a fact.
It just doesn't seem just, does it?
Do you want some more whale facts? I could throw some whale facts at
No,
you.
because I don't want to know what you Wikipedia during the day. I'm at hard pass. Anyways, Makayla. So if you're not doing any other big races, you're just gonna practice and like ride for fun this year?
Yeah, because I definitely need the seat time. I haven't been riding that much at all during quarantine. Nothing's open, so well, it's everyone, but just in general, like, just haven't been able to go anywhere really.
Are you gonna? How long are you gonna before you dabble with the 250F? Are you gonna stay in the 125 for a while? Oh, you guys might already have one in the garage.
No,
what kind
we
of
don't.
smirk
We
is that?
don't. We were talking about it, but it's not like for sure thing. Everyone that's selling a bike right now is also is like doubled in prices
Dude,
everywhere.
It's bad right now.
But I know before I want to go to Loretta's again, I definitely want to have a 250 instead of 125 for that track.
I would say stick on the 125 for a bit though. You got a small frame, not a big girl. 125 can haul you around just fine. They're cheaper to maintain. You know, that's because what is the one downside? You don't have the torque and quite the horsepower. I don't think she's going to be struggling with horsepower on a 125, especially if it's a properly prepped 125.
Yeah.
You got all the power you need. They're cheap to maintain. You keep a couple pistons around.
It is sick because they're lighter weight and they sound bitchin'.
I was literally getting to that. It's like they're
Nice.
literally like if throw a 250F on a stand, throw a 125 on the stand.
I can't even.
There's a you can't. Okay. Pick them. We'll drop 2 bikes in the mud. 250F. Not going to be one of Reese's bikes. He's like, no, not my bike. Drop a 125 and pick them both up. And the 125 is definitely lighter. I don't know the exact pounds, but you can feel it.
remember.
You feel it
Yeah.
lifting it.
Yeah, especially when you're tired during a race. But just hear me out. Me on a 250 with electric start, it'll go good. Pick it up one leg over because it'll be too tall still with a 2-inch lowering kit on it. Cool.
You just don't want to start your bike anymore.
No, I'm not going to be that person. I just can't. Or starting it because, where was it? I think I was at Riverdale for practice the other day, and on the main track, I crashed in one of these tapered corners, and when I was picking my bike up, I had to put this leg down so the bike's all the way like sides onto the side, and I had to kick it. Couldn't even do it. I was so mad. I was like, I wish I was taller.
Now, is your bike lowered or is it stock height?
Yeah,
It
we
is
got it lowered.
Now, was it a suspension lowering kit or how did you lower it? Or did it come that way when you got it?
No, it was actually full size when we bought it, and just the seat was cut down. But then we got a new seat, and it was just too high, so we got a 2-inch lowering kit. I want to say it was suspension, but I don't know.
How tall are you?
5'2".
5'2". Probably need to drop a bike a little bit.
Dude, Makayla weighs so little. I've watched her do starts at Woodland, like on the concrete pad.
Dude,
It's
it just
it's so funny.
goes.
I'm like yelling at her. I'm like, keep your freaking legs in front of the. She's like, oh, I can beat you guys on all the starts. I'm like, okay, cool story. Like, let's see you start. And I watch her every single time. No matter how, she'll be like second gear on a 125, which is crazy because like if you and me do that, that's like, like you don't, dude, it's weak. You got to do first gear and then quick shift. She's like, second gear, and she's like, nice and easy on the clutch, nice and easy on the clutch, and like. As soon as it starts to move, instant tire spin. And I see her like standing on the back, sitting on the fender, like, come on, and it just spins up. Just, I was like, you just don't weigh enough, dude. Like, you gotta just, on the clutch.
It's
like,
crazy. I was racing Riley Ranch a couple weeks ago. I figured out how to do a third gear start. That's nice. I used it at Grace Harbor and got really nice start in the 250 Moto. That's how I was doing so
which
good.
is insane because you should not be able to third gear start at 125.
Right? No, I got it
What kind of
down.
gearing
It was
we running here?
insane. Third gear starts. Me and Jaylee Gallagher, the other girl on my team, we were popping third gear starts, and it was awesome. So much better than the second gear. So I think, as weird as it sounds, I'm going to be doing third gear on concrete, second gear in dirt.
So we do on the 450s is third on the concrete starts because you get all the power to work like without my weight or Justin's weight. And it's, first of all, it's cool because when you can get the jump off the pad just nice and easy, and you don't have to shift. So if everybody's like higher RPM and their bikes start to pick up or whatever, while they're shifting, you're already moving forward. And it
Yeah.
might feel a little slower off the gate, but it's
Yeah.
consistent. And less room for you to screw up and either go brr or dump the clutch and bog it or whatever, or spin.
But what's kind of nice about the third gear, the bike doesn't pick up on me as much either. So when I'm actually going, it's just already there. But I don't know, like I like the third gear start. And if you rev it high enough, because normally I tried it on the Super Mini, it didn't work out at all. Like that was bad. You flutter the clutch and it just go wah, wah, wah. But on the 125, you just hold it all the way pin and it carries.
Yep.
So that was nice.
It's crazy to
But it
think
only
you
worked at that
just moved
track.
up off a Super Mini.
I know. I know.
Literally,
I
she
got
was
to
just
ride
riding
it.
Super Minis.
So, yeah. The only reason I moved up to big bikes, I think, one night is because Krista Buck said she wouldn't take pictures of me anymore if I was riding the Super Mini. So I took the 125 and I was like, wow, like I like this bike. And then next week I didn't race the Super
Well, yeah,
Mini.
you have bigger wheels, better suspension, you know.
It just
like-
feels so much better.
Yeah.
I didn't want to move up. I was like, I love this bike.
Yeah,
but
you
then I
stayed
hit
on
the
that Super
125,
Mini a
like,
while.
whoa. I stayed to AMA 16, 17.
Yeah, till 17.
Hey, it treated me good at Loretta's. It's okay.
But what are the rules for the women's? Like,
No.
women's class, you can kind of whatever, right?
Yeah, they don't really care. And it's kind of weird. I don't really, there's not as many rules. You don't get protested in women's. No one really cares, and it kind of sucks with that. But
No one really protests the women? Like, we talking small races or big races?
I think bigger races, I think the only time a race got protested was at Top Gun last year. Me and this Ryan Evan girls and Caden Clements all had 25, and they kept mixing it up, so I got protested for getting first. And then
Oh,
I had to
that's just
keep
a number
switching it.
issue then.
Well, yeah, but that's
But like,
the
I'm
only thing they
protested
had
as like
protested on.
bikes or anything like that. Okay.
Even at Loretta's, none of the women got protested, or girls, because everyone follows the specific guidelines. Like normally it's just 80 to 250cc bikes in all classes, or 450c. You can ride whatever you want.
What's it like racing with the dudes? Do they get all weird seeing the chick? They get weird about it?
It's, yeah, I remember, so at Grace Harbor a couple weeks ago, what was it? I rolled my bike up to the start and I was sitting up there and I looked way over and this guy was staring all the way down looking at my bike, and then this other guy was looking at my bike, and I was like, wow, I'm gonna get crashed out. And then of course right on the start everyone gets super close, so that part sucks. But other than that, it's not that bad. I think it's a lot more fun than the women. I know I'm gonna probably do 250D and 450D at PIR this year.
What's the difference between racing with the women and racing with the guys? Do the guys ride a lot different?
The guys are a lot more sketchy.
They're sketchy.
Yeah, the guys are scary. I think the women, they really just kind of, I don't know, women are more just like go with the flow, like don't want to get.
Well, guys are probably a little more aggressive.
Yeah, but it's a lot more of I don't know what I'm doing. I think just women, because there's no no, I don't mean it like that. Women, there's just no competition.
Reese is
You're
biting his
racing
tongue
the
right
same.
now.
Damn.
No,
Ouch.
the younger people starting out in the 250D class just popping wheelies the whole time and crashing, doing next. I don't know. But the
So you think the
women,
guys are sketchier? But what guys class are we talking here?
the 250C class I was racing. I think
Sketchier than the women?
yeah, the women just
Really?
kind of hang out.
The women just hang out.
Yeah. Because it's kind of weird, because there's obviously competition in the women's class depending what you're doing, because I'm a women's masters now. So my competition would be like Jaylee, Rusty Gates, Maddie Keller. But really, other than that, everyone's so spread out. Everyone has such different
Skill set.
speeds and skill sets that there's
That's
no
fair,
real
yeah.
competition. It's so hard to catch next
A lot of the
person.
guys are grouped together, racing, battling.
And I kind of like that, how you're grouped together with the guys. Like, it can be a lot more intimidating, but it kind of makes you push a little harder.
I would agree. I usually tell girls, like, might be smart to race some guy classes because the
Makes you
intensity is
faster, too.
different.
Yeah.
And you got, you start getting a little more used to that and racing. And well, yeah, a lot of the women do kind of just
Dude,
It's a game
settle.
changer.
It's more fun, like if you're there, like if you're in the right mindset. We all have bad days, but if you're there to like race and like you get a tow from somebody that's a little bit quicker than you guys, the same pace, whoever gets to start, you could be battling for like 6th, 8th, last, it don't matter. But when you have a good battle with somebody and you get off the track and you're both dead and you're just like, holy crap, that was awesome. Those are the feelings that like makes it cool.
That's why I
But
like
when
the
you're riding out
classes.
there by yourself, like it's a practice day because it's just such a big gap. That sucks. It's not really, you don't
Yeah.
feel like racing. You're just like trying to maintain your,
And that's kind of what it was like at Woodland, too, because I felt like the season was so dry this year. I think me and my dad were literally just taking lap times to me trying to felt like that. But there was no one there. But like Grace Harbor, there definitely was women, especially ones that went to Loretta's last year I was racing with, too. So it's kind of cool to see either me or them go a little bit quicker, but
yeah.
like,
So how long have you been racing in the guy class? Because I don't remember you really racing outside of just the women's class. Have you been doing it all along?
nope.
Something fairly
My
new?
first 250 race was at Eugene in October, and I ended up crashing, didn't finish.
October 2019?
Yep. And then my real first 250, 450 race was at Riley Ranch a couple weeks ago. Like, I raced the 125 class at PIR, but it wasn't every single week. But the 250 class, that's going to be my new class. I really like that.
Honestly, the 450 class is almost calmer. Wouldn't you agree?
450 class is a lot easier
The
than
450
and
guys
there's less
seem to be a
people.
little more chill.
They work in the morning.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what Reese
Yeah,
says.
we work. We have to work the next day.
That's
Yeah.
vet, though. That's not just 450. That's vet racing.
There's a lot of 450 guys who are vet guys.
But like, well, in 450C, at like especially like Thursday night motocross and stuff, is like
I haven't tried
it's
that
all
class.
the same. It's mostly 250 guys.
The top couple
Yeah,
are
it really is.
250 fast kids,
Or
and then it's a
125
bunch of
kids that
just
go up.
dudes.
That just have a 450 and they want to go race or whatever, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but it is more 250. Well, and there's a big difference between 250D and 250C. 250C, there's some kids that can shred, that are like hanging out, waiting for Loretta's, that could probably run intermediate.
250C class is intense.
Yeah,
250D.
Kind of it's a roll of the dice.
Ooh,
You know what I mean?
yeah, that is a roll of the dice. What you're gonna get. You have a few good riders. You have a couple vets.
We have a few guys
And-
that are like just willing to jump anything, and they're just like gonna hold it wide open regardless.
Who
Like,
get
they
arm pump on the
send
first
it
lap and
like,
just
no.
send it up, seat bounce and everything, and sometimes into other riders. The 250D class gets
Gnarly.
a little interesting.
Thursday Night Moto though has that not to like not in a bad way, but Thursday Night Moto makes people try harder. I think like it just has the ambiance. Like when you're there, because everybody's around. It's not like being like out in a field at Woodland when it's pouring down rain during the winter. Where you're like, there ain't nobody watching us. It's me and my friends all going, this is dumb. Why are we doing this? Because it's
Right.
raining.
And dumping.
Oh man.
Thursday night
There's
when you're
been some
there,
bad Woodland
man, like
races.
when you're stacked down there in the gate, you feel like a pro because there's bikes everywhere. It's loading in. It's feels more professional, I guess. But like you're like the environment is like it's elevated. Everybody
Yes.
tries
I
harder.
like, yeah, I
You know what I
kind of
mean?
like that.
And it's an
though,
aggressive
too.
track.
It's like a motocross,
It's a short track.
supercross track.
It's outdoor arena cross kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, it does get a lot of people amped. There's not a lot of spaces on the track where you can really just kind of shake it off and breathe. Like while Schugel, there's a few spots you can just like coast for half a second, you know, and kind of get it to there's no resting at PIR.
It's busy.
It's go time.
And it's like, and the track's different every time. You know?
Yep, I
And-
like that a lot though. So you
which is-
don't get super known to the track.
But like there's never really practice days there. Like normally it's twice a year they have a practice day. So it's like you're showing up with, you rung with the skills you brought, you figured out in practice, and like you're gonna try to not like the other guy. You know what I mean? Like it's crazy.
You don't want to be that person and get hurt on the practice day.
Been there, done
Well,
Oh, of course,
actually, the
Reese.
last time Reese was at a PIR practice day,
that. Tacoed my face. Real
I actually
good.
have pictures, I think, on my Facebook of his bloody goggles.
What happens, Makayla, is you start feeling cocky and you get a tow from like a legit intermediate, almost pro, and you go, oh, this is super fun. And then you go like the triple, and you realize I can't scrub speed like you can. And then you're,
Really? Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I didn't get to see that one. I did get to see Scotty's though, because you and Scotty in the same practice. I don't know what Scotty did, but he hit those whoops so fast. I'm just kind of rolling. I'm like, what are you doing, Scotty? Ding, 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 ding. Suddenly he's straight up and down, and he falls off the back. I'm like, what do you? I don't know what that was, Scotty.
That's a bold strategy.
And then I come around the next lap, and he's still down. Like, oh no, he's actually hurt. And what do you like? Tear his ACL or something?
yeah, you screwed his knee up good.
Yeah, I didn't realize it was that bad, and yeah, I was right next to him when he did it, because I'm just kind of rolling, and he decides to
Dude,
get all gunny with it, and whoa, he hit those whoops, and that two-stroke decided to,
Full power, man.
yeah, just let her rip, and just the front end got higher and higher and higher and higher, and it's backwards.
Scotty quoted it the best. I was on the pipe right until I wasn't. That's his line.
Right until the pipe stuck into the ground.
Jeez.
It is,
His bike got messed up. His radiator. Was that the race where his radiators were all smashed in and his pipe was all broken?
That was Washougal.
Yeah, Washougal.
Yeah, he
That was a
like,
different time.
He was like leading.
That was
Yeah.
a different time too.
Yeah, that was a different
Because I
time.
have a video of me like scoping his bike and they're just smashed and where I was like, whoa.
Dude, like the whole pack landed on his bike because he was like leading or second place, tossed it, and it was like right on the backside of like a roller. And so everybody, you couldn't see it. They were just one right after another landing on his bike. Just,
R.I.P.
he's like, I'd just lay there and take it. Just sit there and watch him. Just one right after another. But people wheel tapping it. Oh, sorry, dude.
man, poor guy. Think about it. We're a crazy group of people for doing what we do. And like, we go out and we have fun at this sport. We spend a ton of money, and we go just wreck our bodies. Like Reese, what we just did a week ago, we didn't really crash. Did you crash? I didn't crash.
I didn't crash once. No.
Yeah.
It's a first.
But we beat our bodies. And that was a good day then. I mean, we still got beat up. And then on a bad day, we get really messed up. You've gotten hurt pretty good.
Oh yeah, you can get hurt like the first couple.
I
laps
know,
of practice.
Makayla, you've been hurt pretty good. Like, what did you, let's see, crutches. So the crutches time. What did you do?
Tore my ACL and meniscus on the start at Washougal.
Wait, the start?
Okay, what happened was...
story time.
Okay, so I think at the time I was on my KTM 85, and for some reason me and my dad decided I should ride 85 Junior. I don't know why, it was last minute, like, okay, let's ride 85 Junior. I was like, okay. But that race, we were going off of the 85 Intermediate and 85 Junior, and I got a bad start. Everyone came close together, and I won't name names, but someone ghost rode their bike out, and it flew out. I hit their bike, someone hit me, I hit them, a bunch of people crashed together, and I just got spun up and stuck in the bike, and it tore my ACL meniscus. And then I ended up racing. We didn't think it was torn. It buckled on me and I fell, but we kept racing because I needed the points.
Well, yeah, that didn't pan out well. You were on crutches for a while.
Well, I ended up being on crutches even longer because my sister broke a glass bottle, and then I stepped on the glass and had to get stitches. So that put me on crutches an extra 2 weeks. I think I was total on the crutches for I was supposed to be on them for 7 weeks, and then it added up even more. But that was, oh my gosh, I never want to do that again.
You looked really ticked off walking on the track on your crutches.
Oh.
Remember Albany? You did not look happy.
That time, so I did tear it before. I think I tore it worse because the doctors never said it was torn, so I could never get in for MRI. That time at Albany, I ended up tearing it worse, and then I also burnt my leg on a pipe of a dirt bike, and I couldn't walk. So that was double torn, and then the next, I actually didn't race that one. I was done.
Is that like your worst injury you've gotten racing?
Yeah.
Reese, what would you say is your worst?
What was your worst self-inflicted crash?
Ooh. PIR has been my worst self-inflicted. Those both times I broke my face there was my fault. I was being dumb. Those are probably two of the best memorable crashes. Just because one of them, a guy on the start finish line table tossed it in front of me, and coming up the face as soon as I left, I saw him just yard sailed, and I was like, I'm either gonna land on this kid, and just I'm landing right on him, like his body, not his bike, and I was like, that's a dick move. I don't ever want somebody to do that to me. So I was like, all right, screw it. I hit the eject button and just threw myself off the side of the bike because I knew at least I'm not going to land on him. Well, by doing that, I ate my clutch perch, and my bolt out of my clutch perch was stuck in my Bell Moto 9 helmet. We found it after I rung my bell, concussion.
Yeah, the bolt
bad.
was in the helmet.
Yeah, that was a good one. And then same thing at PIR on the triple in the back, yard sailed my face into the handlebar pad, just super dumb. But broken back for sure when I was younger. That was good. Bunch of hardware. And then Woodland, tearing 3 ligaments in my shoulder off the table in the back. Overshot it big time. Front brake was jacked up. Didn't know it till afterwards. And my bike just went and pitched.
Ow.
And in air I was like, I'm not qualified to do this. I should never hit this jump. Why don't I throttle? Please come back. And it never did. And as soon as I landed, it just threw me to the ground. But I was trying to ride over my head. I was scared because I did good the race before, but it was icy and slippery, and I just got kind of lucky and was like, this is awesome. And now it was pressure's on. You got to ride like that every time.
Yeah.
And I was trying to keep up with guys that were significantly better than me, and I did stuff that I wasn't comfortable doing, but I'm like, oh, you have to. And it was for what? Honda's not calling with the sponsorship checks. Nice try, dog. You suck. But I was convinced in my head, you got to do it. And I did it. And yeah, so lesson learned.
But have you ever woken up with your pants off on the track?
I haven't woken up with my pants off on the track. I've come to on the back tailgate of somebody's truck with a concussion, and somebody was taking my clothes off after being yard sailed. But yeah, I didn't do what you did, which is impressive. I want to say Horn Rapids.
I had to think back on some of my worst crashes, and one of the weirdest ones when I woke up on the ground, I had no pants on. And I'm very confused because there's people all around me, and my bike's over there. Why is my bike there? Why are my pants off? And my boots are still on. And I'm like, wait, there's my gear, and it's all. So what happened is there's a step up there at cross-threaded. And so
the wind didn't take you?
No, the wind did not get me this time. It's gotten me before at Horn Rapids.
Dear
but
gosh.
I go up and I cross-rut, and so it was a step up, and so it bucked me sideways, and when I clipped the top, it reverse bucked me instantly the other direction, and that just instant slap to the side.
Yeah.
And
you're done.
apparently I just kind of fell down on my shoulder and my face, and as I cartwheeled, I hooked the seat of my pants on my lever. and it shredded my pants down to the boot.
What the heck?
And I'm literally looking at my handlebars, and there's all the inner liner and everything kind of just wrapped around this broken, jagged lever, and yeah, just kind of all around the handlebar, like. And it took me a while to piece together exactly what happened, but I was like, it's chilly. It's chilly right now. It's like
It's a little brisk out here, man.
it's a little brisk. Luckily, my boxers were still on, but it's like March in Horn Rapids, and
I'm surprised it's not snowing or anything.
I was very awkward ride back to my pits with no pants on, and everyone was like, he has the rest of his gear on. And it's just like in shambles around my legs.
Typical Justin waking up with his pants off, with his shoes on, not knowing what happened. Classic.
In the middle of a track.
In the middle of a track.
With everyone just kind of quietly looking at you. Like, what'd I do? Yeah, I got my bell rung really good that time. I'd say the worst, though, is honestly when I dislocated my elbow, because that one hurt.
That was a good one. I do.
Sucked up my arm into a tire. A rear tire ran me over, and it just I don't know exactly how it. I think it went into the spokes or something, and just sucked it in and dislocated and like tore a bunch of the muscles here. Like, didn't break anything, but that one hurt.
Carson Jackson got sucked up at Woodland a couple months ago, right before the last race.
Yep.
What did he get stuck in, the sprocket? Or the back
Ooh,
sprocket?
I didn't hear about this.
Yep.
Or the chain or something like that?
Yeah.
Really?
They had
I didn't
to
hear
take,
about this one.
He was stuck in there for like 10, 15 minutes, I think. They had to take it apart to get his hand out. But I don't think it was broken at all. I think
That's
he got
always
really
my
lucky.
fear, man. Those sprockets and all. There's a lot of moving parts, like getting tangled up. Who was it that Tapia did? Was it Tapia and James Stewart? No, James Anderson got sucked up into the back of Tapia's bike and went for a ride. Never having kids again.
Well, then Ken Roxon got sucked up into Cooper Webb's too. Last season? But that was through the swing arm, but still broke his arm. Like,
Yeah,
not a
it's.
choke. That'd suck.
That's a fear of mine. That's one thing that kind of just makes me shiver, is the idea of getting caught up in somebody's moving wheel or sprocket combo. Like, it's going really quick. Or what you see on starts, you get tangled up and they're still pinning it.
Yeah.
You don't realize at first. I've seen some nasty stuff in like Supercross where you cringe and you don't want to watch, you know? Someone's arm,
And you still
especially like
want to
that
get
spot
decapitated.
between the tire and the swing arm, could just suck someone's arm in there.
Full burrito.
Tortilla.
Yeah.
Bean burrito.
Why do we get on these weird subjects? Now I'm all
I
grossed
like
out.
talking about crashing as long as it's not
But
happening and
you
it's in
like
the
blood.
past.
You like blood.
Well, that's why
and
I'm going to
gross
medical
things.
school.
Yes, you're going to
I
medical
can't
school,
wait.
so you're like immune to this.
Oh, I love it.
So when are you
You've
going-
seen the posts.
Yes, I am well aware. When are you going to go do that?
So,
you've graduated high school, right?
Yeah.
You're officially an adult, off into the big world. You're going to keep riding motocross?
Yeah, I think I'm going to ride for like 2-3 more years. Try to save up and do as many big races as I can before. But at PCC, Walla Walla University, I think corresponds with it, and they have an advanced program where you can get your AA and bachelor's for the same thing. Because I haven't decided if I want to be a physician's assistant or an actual physician. But iffy. But I could go do that at PCC for the next, I think that's a 6-month, it's a 1-year program. But do that, and then I'd be able to just go to WSU Vancouver here for university. But med school, that's 4 years I won't be able to ride because if you get hurt, you're out of the program.
So once you get into that program, no riding at all?
Nothing that can get you hurt. I don't even know if I can be on the track team.
Ooh. But you don't want to do that for a couple years? Like, wait a couple years? Okay. So
Yeah,
get a
'cause
couple
I'm
years
gonna
of
go
riding
to-
and racing, kind
Yep.
of see what you can do, maybe see how far you can go.
Yeah.
And then after that, career time.
Yeah, because I'm looking into programs right now, but I know I'm gonna start Clark in the fall, or community college, because it's a lot cheaper too, and they have the same classes for cheaper.
Yeah.
And everything's online, so it's kind of nice that it's online. That way I can work and go riding if I want to go do whatever, not have to go drive 10 minutes to the college.
Makes sense. Is it weird to not really have how would I word this? I guess in my words, it'd be not really have a future in motocross. Because women, it's like, for a guy, granted, there's no one I think that's even been on the show that, other than Jason McCormick, that could ever win a national. Like, most of us are real humans. On a good day, we can go fast. And that's about it. To win a national or supercross is a crazy achievement. However, it is obviously achievable. People do it. And they make money. There's some people who made good money. Ryan Villapoto, I'd say did pretty decent. You know, Jeremy McGrath did pretty decent. The best female rider in the world probably isn't, she's not making much money racing, honestly. What would you say is the fastest female right now? This is all opinion, of course.
I know it's so probably Vicky Golden or Ashley Follick. Well, probably Vicky Golden. Didn't she make a night show? A Supercross. One of them made a night show, but even her, she got 23rd, 24th.
Yeah, so there's really no future for her racing against the guys.
That's why she does freestyle.
Yeah, she makes probably better
at
money doing Instagram posts
Yeah.
and
Vicky
videos.
Golden,
Sponsors
she
and
figured
stuff.
out a niche and like hopped on right when all those guys started blowing up, like Twitch's YouTube channel. Like she figured out, she went, you know what, I can make a living riding my dirt bike. I'm just gonna have to do it, kind of doing it this way.
She was smart. She's super smart.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was very smart with her approach, but it wasn't just like a pure racing type thing.
And she can shred on a dirt bike.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
just as bike skill, she can shred. Like there's no, don't get it twisted. Like that girl can ride. It's
Well,
crazy.
no, but she took her skill set, and I think what she did was smart to make a living. But like, it's hard to make a living being a female motocross rider, and there is no longer a women's national motocross series. It's kind of weird. I mean, is that kind of weird to know that like, if you put in all the training, like you race Women's Expert, right? Yeah. You race the Women's Expert or Master. You get a race against the fastest girls in the Northwest. If you put in your training, you get faster, you start clicking off all the wins, and you want to take to the next level. What is the next level? Like, what do you have? Well, even then, where do you
get sponsored by a dealership? Like,
But where do you go
really
race?
nothing. I don't. California. That's all I can think of. Or
There's no big series.
Even Loretta's got rid of their women's pro class because all those super fast girls, they're riding.
Yeah,
it
and
kind of sucks.
we
Unless
may
you
never
want to ride with old guys.
It's kind of sad that there isn't an option like there used to, because there used to be the WMX National Series, and it was something to strive for. My cousins, Katie and Jesse, they raced in it. You actually got national numbers.
Yeah.
Got national numbers, the blue backgrounds. Krista Buck went pro. She raced it. Who else did we have around here?
That.
Who else did we have that rocked the blue plates
Avery
around here?
Berry?
Yeah, Bear. She went over to the.
She went to Europe. She did the Europe.
Yeah, she's racing in Europe. She's pretty quick.
She's going to Washougal. She signed up for classes at Washougal this weekend.
Nice.
And so that'll be fun to watch.
She
her.
got quick.
Yeah. Super.
That's a talented family. Her brother was a fast rider too, Tanner Berry.
Yeah, I got trained by him one time, like
Fast
3 years
rider.
ago, right when I started out. And then I think he went off to the military, or
But isn't that, I mean, you think about it, Reese.
I
Okay,
kinda
so
think
neither of us are really striving to go pro, right? And like go, like
Not
line up a
Reese.
supercross.
Yeah,
We ride dirt bikes, pit bikes, podcast.
so you just
We're
try to
good.
have fun.
We're just dudes.
yeah, just regular schmucks, man.
But like, let's go back, because there was a time where I wanted to, and I still want to line up for a national. I'll do a Canadian national one day. But I remember being back 18 thinking like, oh yeah, okay, 18, 19, I'm going intermediate, like feeling like, okay, yeah, maybe it would be cool to do like a couple supercrosses or something. Like,
Yeah, absolutely.
definitely didn't get there, but you know, you think about it and it could have been a potential, but like the women, there's nothing there. There's nothing to really strive for racing accomplishment wise. You have to go really look for stuff. Like Avery Berry had to go to Europe. Vicky Golden is making most of her money playwriting and making sick videos and doing whips, or right now just riding her pit bike nonstop. But I mean, is that kind of weird? Does that take some of the steam out of it for you? Or is it you still just having fun doing what you're doing?
Well, I'm really just in it for the fun. I love this sport so much because I've done a few different sports, motocross, just the adrenaline. It's great feeling. But I think it's kind of not fair that there's not a pro. I understand why there's not. Like, there's really not a lot of girls that ride pro.
That's a problem.
It probably only top 7, 8 people. I'd probably say if it was here, if we had a women's class here, there'd only be 2 people in it. It'd be if people showed up, probably Krista and Avery Berry. Like that'd be it. So I see why there's not, but I think it's not fair. Like if they still did it at the nationals instead of if they mixed the 125 and the women's together, I think that could be fair. Like have 2 classes because they're mixing women up with every class now it seems. But I don't know. Now that you mention it, it takes the fun out. But
I'm sorry, but it was something I thought about. Like we have it different. Like there's still that little thing in the back of our brain. That, oh yeah, I can, maybe one day. But there's so much we could go do. The women don't really. There isn't anything anymore.
Yeah, but you can off-road. There's more on off-road.
off-road, they do have women's
That
pro.
is
There's
Those girls
that is a
quick.
solid point.
There is more on off-road, and I look at it like if you're a fast, like if Makayla keeps riding for the next couple years, and let's say when you're like 24, you've been riding the whole time, just you, and you didn't have any big injuries, and you're like working or doing whatever, but you're like consistently on the bike, and you're like a fast 250C guy level speed or whatever. I don't know whatever the crossover, whatever. Let's say you're a local intermediate pace girl that can race with the boys, and you're like, dude, I'm a really fast, like I can ride a dirt. You could still do what a lot of guys do, or vet people do, where it's like, okay, well, Loretta's is super expensive, and I'm not good enough, or I'm not in the right classes to be like, I'm possibly gonna maybe get picked up for a ride by doing this. But you could be like, I'm doing two-stroke national, I'm gonna do like the bigger events at Glen Helen. You can kind of go like, you could go chase some of the bigger events on top of picking like the Washougal series or something in amateur days. Like there's a way to market yourself if you're, especially if you're a fast chick and you're beating some of the dudes. You could get some pretty good support and have a really good following, and people would totally get behind it. Is it fair? Is it the same? No, but I almost feel like you almost have more of an advantage to be able to market yourself to be like a personality. If you were kicking butt and like shredding and sending it at some of the bigger events, people are gonna get behind that more than if it was me or Justin going, I'm chasing the 30 plus intermediate dream. People are like,
whoa.
Ooh, cool story. There's a bajillion guys doing that, and there's a handful of dudes in California that will wax you guys. You'll never be as fast as them. Like, me and Justin could go race 30 plus at Woodland and be like, is that Lance Smale? Is that who we're racing today? Oh, well, hard pass. Like, I'm out. Like, it's never going to happen.
I don't know, if we train, we could take on like Mike Brown and those boys.
Yeah,
dude, no freaking way, bro. Like, yeah, watching him pace at Leslie and stuff at Glen Helen, nah, dude. Like, there's a certain level of vet. Like, there's like local fast vet, and there's like national caliper fast vet.
I want you to stop and think about this for a minute.
Nope.
In 2 years, Chad Reed can race the 40 plus class at Loretta's.
Oh, no, hands down, I call it right now. Chad Reed and Justin Brayton are going to screw vet racing. Can you imagine if
They're
those
gonna ruin
guys,
it.
when those guys get bored, and in like 2 years, both of them are like, hopefully Brayton keeps going, but if they're like, let's go to Loretta's, dude. Let's go hop in the, 30 or
That'd be amazing.
or
That'd be
pro
so cool
or
to
pro
watch.
sport. Can you imagine lining up? I mean, like, is that the Honda semi? What do you mean Brayton? He's retired, but he's got support. Like, dude, it'd be like if Kevin Wyndham was in shape.
They're gonna be on the same team. They're gonna call it something, some vet team. He's gonna roll up with his Lamborghini. Someone else is gonna drive the truck. They're gonna unload
no,
two
they're gonna
matching.
Watch him get beat
They're probably
by
gonna be
someone,
Husqvarnas
too.
or
He won't
something.
win.
They're gonna fly in. No, they're gonna fly in his
Don't
private
know who's
jet.
gonna beat those two.
Can you imagine that?
Brayton and Reed, they're both creeping towards 40, man. Those guys are gonna be unstoppable if they wanted to. It was like when McGrath went and did Mammoth, and everyone was like,
Dude.
"Oh, really, really?" He showed up on a KX 500, was throwing it sideways, doing knack-knacks, and we're just like, "All right, I guess that's cool. Okay."
Like watching Villa when he like started coming back and doing a few races here and there and stuff, and like even when he was retired on the Cowie still, and went over to like Paris or whatever and did the Supercross, and he's like, "Oh, I'm just going to have fun," and it was like his lap times. He's like, "Yeah, I got tired, but I mean, he finished 5th against like all the best American dudes. Like, still had it. 2 years off the bike.
I know,
Like,
our vet class is about to get pretty savage, man.
Dude, it's
there's,
gnarly.
There's some dudes like the 30 plus class where might have to worry about Ryan Villapoto just popping in,
or he showed like down to Glen Helen for the W Vet National, like Dubach and some of those guys that are like 50 and whatever that could blow our doors off, like still shred. Like, dude, get out of here. Yeah, no.
Oh, dude, Doug is a savage.
And he like wins everything in all of his classes. I think he's got like 8 years in a row in like 40 and 50 or something like that, crazy like that.
He's got so many titles. He's an animal. Sorry, we got into old guy talk.
Not
Makayla,
there yet.
I know you got a ways to go before you catch up to us.
Yeah, I hope I don't.
Are you gonna? When you get to
Michaela, you got a ways to go before you can race 25 plus. Like,
yeah, you got a
you're-
ways.
Oh,
you're
I
young.
won't be racing.
Are you, so that was going to be, we actually got to get out of here in just a second, but that was going to be my last question is like, let's say you go do your schooling, you do your 4 years, you can ride after, or you're just going to call it a wrap?
Whoa.
Nah, Michaela's gonna get hubbied up. She's gonna have a kid and stuff. She'll be like,
Well,
I'm
I'll
over
get
it.
my kids into racing, but I think I want to switch it up and do some off-road. I think
That's a solid answer.
Dude, off-road is sick.
like switch up the whole scenery because I'll go right. I just don't want to come back and just be that one person that's like, whoa, like, oh my God, that's a little scary. But I know, I don't know. I'll still be in the scene because I know my little sister Amanda wants to start racing. So I'll still be,
that'd be scary.
there. Yeah. Yeah. She's like, I'm going to beat you one day. And I was like, okay.
Good luck.
I was like, so
Having
that's
met
our,
her,
that's our
yeah, that might
bet.
be scary. Okay.
Yeah, that's our bet though when I'm done with my swing because it's gonna take 6-7 years till I'm done for PA.
25 plus class.
No, women's amateur.
Fine.
Maybe women's beginner might have to hop down a class or 2.
But you're gonna still ride after. You still want to ride. All right, good.
Yeah, I don't
She's
really.
gonna stick around.
I don't. It's hard. It's hard to. It really depends where I go to college. If I go to Western Oregon University, I'll probably leave my bike down in Monmouth with some people I know. That way I could go take the bike and go right there. But it really just depends what I'm doing and what I totally decide on what I want to be doing older and stuff like that.
You got plenty of time.
And money. Tuition's expensive.
You have plenty of time to figure stuff out.
I thought you were saying you have plenty of money. I was like, damn, we got to figure it out, dude. 'cause
Yeah.
I know. I'm gonna beat Reese though.
You guys still need a race. 125s.
Oh, I know.
I'll
Dude.
set it up.
Dude, I have a really good excuse for right now. I checked my cylinders, smoked my 125, my Honda. I figured out today.
Oh well.
So
Okay.
I got a good excuse for right now.
So we'll give it a little
wait.
time.
Didn't he say he could beat me on my 125 on a pit bike?
No,
No, that was me.
that's a
That
Justin.
was you.
That's a
Then
definitely a
I
Justin.
swear it wasn't just 125s.
I thought you guys were gonna race 125s.
I was trying to ride my 450, and McKay's like, no, you're riding your 125.
Well, you'll get too tired too quick.
Okay, we can figure this out in the after show. We gotta shut this one down
It'll
real
be a
quick.
great race.
Thank you guys for tuning in. Moto Monday 115. Makayla Emerson, thank you for being on. You want to throw out your Instagram handle or any other way to maybe follow you? You still got a Twitter?
Do I?
I don't know.
Yes, Makayla.Emerson on Instagram. Makayla Emerson on Facebook. I can't think of anything else. I don't know what my Twitter is.
MySpace
I don't know
account,
what I don't-
Gmail, something. I don't know. Throw it.
Reese. Reddit. Oh,
Do
yeah.
not put out your phone
Yeah,
number.
don't. Well, no.
I don't even know. I don't know my
highly
phone
suggest
number.
not putting out your phone number.
I never need to know it because it's in my phone.
Okay, good. It's good that let's not throw it out on the podcast with hundreds of people watching. So,
We'll put
thank
out
you guys for
reasons.
watching. We're going to have our after show here in just a few minutes, and we're going to, spice that one up a little bit.
Spice it up.
Thank you, Reese. Makayla. We're out of here, and we're going to have a little hot sauce.